Chapter 89. I stand up from my computer, having had more than enough of this. I'm woozy and in a daze. If Frank Delmonico is no longer alive, whom have I been talking to the past few days? Impulsively, I reach into my pocket and pull out Delmonico's card. I think back to when he handed it to me outside the hotel. I can picture it clearly. Wait, that's it. I rush to my darkroom, and the picture is lining nearly every inch of wall space. I shot so many that morning outside the hotel. I covered every angle twice over. All the commotion, all the people, police, paramedics, there's no way he could have escaped my lens. Grabbing my loot, I begin to search. It's my own desperate version of Where's Waldo. I move left to right across every photo, looking for that gray suit, those unmistakable eyes. Where's Delmonico? I can't find him in any of the pictures, so what do? I start over. I go slower, inch by inch, top to bottom. The sweat from my face and arms is sticking to the photo paper. My head is throbbing. My eyes are killing me. Come on, where are you, Delmonico? I know you're here somewhere. But he isn't. Taking a giant step back, I breathe in deep and try to think. Dead or alive, real or imagined, what does Detective Frank Delmonico have to do with me? I'd never heard of him before, never seen him until that first time at the Falcon. What does it mean that he wasn't there when the 4 bodies were carried out, but afterward he was frankly on the spot investigating me? That's something, but what does it mean? Just then, I feel a pair of eyes on me and I nearly jump out of my skin. Chapter 90. I turn to see my father staring down coldly from behind his thick glasses. Next to the picture of him is the one of Dr. Magnumson. They certainly have a connection with Delmonico. They're dead. At least they're supposed to be. I study the image of my father on the streets of New York. His body is such a startling contradiction. The square jaw versus the hunched shoulders, the strong man beaten down by an unfair world. My dad was a gifted carpenter, a volunteer fireman. Once he rescued a little boy from a flooded ravine by tying a loop in his belt and hanging upside down from a bridge. But being the town hero didn't pay well, and when his carpentry job started to dry up during the recession of the 80s, money in our house got tight. Ironic, really. He helped to build so many homes, but ultimately couldn't afford to keep his own. Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad had my mother been a little more understanding. She wasn't, though. I remember the night at the dinner table when she called him a failure in life, right to his face. That's about when the drinking got out of control, but never in front of me. Never. I was his princess, his girl. No matter how bad things got, he always had a hug and a smile for me. Right up until the end, less than an hour before Dad shot himself in our dilapidated backyard shed, he held me in his arms and squeezed me tight. It's going to be all right, he whispered in my ear. I never forgave him for that lie. I know that I should have felt sorry for him, but I was too busy feeling sorry for myself. Now, after all these years, he shows up somehow on a street corner in Manhattan. If only he hadn't run away that morning, I'd have given him the biggest hug and kiss and whispered softly in his ear, "It's okay, Dad, I understand." Chapter 91. I'm crying in my darkroom, the tears falling faster than I can wipe them away. I miss my dad. I miss a lot of things right now, but most of all, my own sanity. Could I be more of a mess? It's late, and I've given up on trying to reach Michael tonight. I'm exhausted and should get some sleep. But knowing that dream, and goodness knows what else, awaits me in the morning, I instead reach for the shots I snapped of Penley and Stephen in front of the hotel. Talk about a great exhibit, eh? In fact, it's enough to swing my mood. As I look at the first shot, I can't help relishing the thought of Michael going for the jugular in divorce court. I'm so giddy, or is it punchy? I actually start singing Penley and Stephen in NYC, KISSING. But the feeling is short-lived. I stare at Stephen's transparent image, the exact same ghosting effect, and I surrender all faith in myself and in the real world as I experienced it before the last few days. I know I stood outside the Falcon and watched those gurneys get wheeled to the curb, but I also know a pattern when I see one. First Penley, then Michael, now Stephen. One by one, the body bags are being accounted for, and I don't have to be Einstein to do the math. There's one left. Chapter 92. I come out of the darkroom and notice there's a message on my answering machine. Just one. And I'm afraid to listen to it. No, I'm petrified to press the button and hear what somebody has to tell me. What now? Who could this be? Another call from Kristen Burns. I get a cold bottle of water in the kitchen and gulp it right down. How did I get myself into this mess? How do I get out? There has to be a way, but I can't imagine what it might be. I'm supposed to be creative, aren't I? So why can't I begin to figure this puzzle out? Could anyone? I can still see the red light flashing on my answering machine. It might be Michael, and maybe he's okay now, back to normal. Of course, it could also be not Monaco. Calling from where, exactly? Do they have phones there, wherever dead people hang out these days? I approach the infernal message machine, and I'm starting to shake like a leaf. How insane is that? Given what's happened to me, not so crazy. I stab the button on the machine. I get myself ready to listen to whomever about whatever. I hear a voice I don't know, a woman's voice. Who's this? Kristen, this is Lee Abbott. I own the Abbott Show on Hudson Street, and I'm calling to tell you that we all love your stuff. Love it. Please give me a call at 212-555-6501. I'd like to put your astounding work in the Abbott Show. Call me, Kristen. 212-555-6501. We are so impressed with your vision of New York. I press the button on the machine again. Listen to Lee Abbott again. It's the best news I've gotten since I moved to New York City. Absolutely the best by far. My dream has come true. So why am I crying uncontrollably? Chapter 93. The sound of my own scream jolts my head off the pillow, piercing the still air of my bedroom like a jet engine on takeoff. I rip back the sheet in a panic, the sweat dripping from my hair. I'm burning up, almost literally. The dream's never been more real. It's getting worse. I feel sick to my stomach and barely make it to the bathroom. I throw up so violently. My neck muscles convulse, cramping into knots. I begin to gag, then choke. Collapsing to the floor, I can't even call for help. This is it. I'm going to die on a cheapo bath mat from Bed Bath & Beyond. And the very last thing I'll hear is the music now starting to blare in my head. Somehow, though, I keep breathing. What saves me is my lack of appetite last night. The stomach's barren. There's nothing left to get caught in my throat. I'm dry heaving and it hurts like crazy, but at least I'm alive. Any other morning I'd be crawling back into bed calling in sick. Instead, I take a shower and quickly get dressed. I don't have a choice, no free will at all. This is no time to be on the sidelines. I try calling Michael at his office. The odds are he's arrived by now, but his line rings and rings and rings. It's too early for his secretary, Amanda. She doesn't normally get to her desk until around 8:30. So I head off to Fifth Avenue, knowing no more about Michael's intentions than I did yesterday. Is he going to hurt somebody? Is he another Scott Peterson? For the first time, I'm actually eager to see Penley. She needs to be okay. I certainly don't want her murdered. My gosh, could it have happened already? Is that why Michael isn't at work? Chapter 94. Kristen, is that you? I hear from down the hall as I step into the foyer of the Turnbulls' apartment. Yes, it's me. And that's her. Phew. I instantly feel guilty about thinking the worst of Michael, putting him in the same company as a wife killer. Penley turns the corner of the foyer and peers suspiciously at me. She's dressed in her workout clothes. There's a moment as we eye each other, and it feels weird. So what else is new? Are you okay? She asks. You look a little pale, Kristen. You're not coming down with something, are you? I'm fine. A little tired, I guess. She gives me the Justice Girls smirk. Late evening, huh? And a rough morning to boot. Of course, I'm not about to let on to anything not with her. No, it was pretty quiet, I say. That reminds me, Maria said you called last night. Did you need to talk to me about something? Thanks, Maria. I hesitate, thinking fast. Oh, that, I say. It was a false alarm. I thought I'd left my cell phone here. She seems to buy it, nodding anyway. This is some game we're playing here, the pencil and I. By the way, how was your dinner? I ask. Pardon? Point Kristen. You and Mr. Turnbull. Maria told me you went out to dinner, just the two of you? Yes, it was very nice, thank you, she says. We don't do it enough. The two of us, no kids. Point, pencil. Is he at his office now? As soon as the question leaves my lips, I regret it. I've never asked her where Michael is. Why would I now? Dumb. Sure enough, Penley gives me a quizzical look. Where else would he be? Chapter 95. It's a very good, very logical question, and just about the only thing I'm thinking about as I walk Dakota and Sean to school. That is, until Sean interrupts me with one of his own questions. A real doozy, too. Miss Kristen, am I gonna die? I'm stunned by the question and its timing. Why ask that now, Sean? The sweetness in his voice brings a lump to my throat. For the second time this morning, I can barely breathe. I try to fake a reassuring smile for him. Sean, honey, why would you ask that? Because Timmy Rockwell at school said I was going to die. Dakota, too. Is he right? I need to be careful how I answer. 5-year-olds can be so impressionable. I don't want to scare him, but I also don't want to lie. In the meantime, Dakota couldn't care less either way. 7-year-olds have no need for tact. Everybody dies, stupid, she says. Sean squeezes my hand hard. I can feel how frightened he is about this. Is that true, Miss Kristen? Does everybody die? I stop walking and kneel down, pulling the two of them close to me. No one gets to live forever, Sean. But you don't have to be scared because you're going to be alive for a very, very long and wonderful time. He blinks slowly. Really, I am? And Mommy and Daddy? And you, Miss Kristen? Yes, of course. And that goes for you too, Princess, I say, giving Dakota a poke in the belly. What about Timmy Rockwell? Asked Sean. He's mean, so will he die sooner? I smile. It doesn't quite work like that. Mean has nothing to do with it. It should, he says. I throw my arms around them both again, and for a moment the island of Manhattan is just the three of us. 3. A much better number than 4. Okay, come on, I say, standing up. We're going to be late for school, and that is unacceptable. I grab their hands, but I don't walk a step. What's wrong, Miss Kristen? Asked Sean. Yeah, says Dakota. Why aren't we moving? The answer is staring at us from across the street. We're no longer alone. The ponytail is back. Hey, I yell. Hey, you. Hey, I'm talking to you. Where I get the courage, or is it stupidity, to bark at a guy who's been scaring the bejesus out of me, I don't know. It is him, though, isn't it? He ducks around the corner, but yes, I'm almost sure that's who it was. I'd be even sure if there hadn't been something blocking his face. Of all things, a camera. Are you okay, Miss Kristen? Asked Dakota, showing real concern. Who was that? He looks scary. Nobody, nothing. Yeah, I'm fine, honey. I say, let's get going. I want to run, but I know I can't, not with the kids in tow. So we walk, nice and easy, as we always do. The only difference is that I'm looking back over my shoulder every 10 seconds or so. A nervous wreck again. Where are you, Ponytail? What do you want? With me? With these kids? What's with the camera? Chapter 96. There's no sign of the Ponytail in his camera now. Not on crowded Fifth Avenue, not along Madison, not in front of the gates of the Preston Academy. I've got one sore and twisted neck to prove it. I hug Sean and Dakota again, extra hard. I don't want to let go. I'll see you right here this afternoon, like always, okay? Are you sure everything's alright? Asked Dakota. Are you sure, Miss Kristen? She looks worried. About me. It's sweet. Sure, I'm sure. Never been better, I boast, forcing a bright smile. Now go have a great day. I don't bother with a wink, and neither do the kids. I just don't have any cuteness in me today. They both nod their little heads and scamper off across the tree-lined courtyard, bounding up the stone front steps to the school. So many mornings I've stood watching Dakota and Sean from this exact spot. I'm about to turn away when I see them stop on the top step and look back. In unison, they wave to me, their smiles curled wide. I want to cry, and I almost do, but I just wave in return, fighting back the tears. With them safely inside, the tears come. Then I do one more 360, searching for the Ponytail. Still don't see him. The bastard, the creep. Is he dead too? Like Delmonico? Out of nowhere, the song is back in my head. I even catch a word, or I think I do. Game? What is that damn song? I mutter as a couple of passers-by stare at me. I wipe my eyes dry, then check my watch while reaching for my cell phone. It's high time I track down that other disappearing man in my life. At the very least, Michael's secretary will be there now to answer my call. And after 3 rings, she picks up. Michael Turnbull's office. Hi, is he there, please? May I ask who's calling? This is Kristen Burns, the Turnbull's nanny. Is this Amanda? Yes, hi, Kristen, she says. I take it you're not at their home, are you? No, why do you ask? Mr. Turnbull said he tried calling to see if anyone was there. If anyone was there. It turns out he left some important papers in his library. I guess he was hoping you or his wife could bring them to him. I could do that. I'm heading back there now. I just dropped off Dakota and Sean at school. I'm afraid he already left to get the papers himself. He needs them for a meeting later this morning. If you're on your way there, I suppose you might see him. Yes. At last, the possibility of a good break. Before Amanda even finishes the sentence, I've got my arm raised for a taxi that's just dropped off some older kids at the school. Less than 10 minutes later, I'm on the elevator heading up to the penthouse. I'm so relieved I might be seeing Michael that I forgot how mad he's made me these past 24 hours. All is forgiven, but now we need to talk. Seriously, talk. I step into the foyer and right away I hear his voice, a little muffled. I think it's coming from the kitchen. Who's Michael talking to? Chapter 97. I can't exactly make out his words as I tiptoe back through the dining room. It's definitely Michael, though. I press my ear against the swinging door to the kitchen. There's something different about his voice, a slight echo. And then I realize who he's talking to. The answering machine. I push through the door into the empty kitchen and spy the blinking red light. Michael is mid-sentence in the message he's leaving, and I listen for a moment to what he's saying. It's goodbye, that's what. He's about to hang up. I'll see you later then, okay, honey? I love you, he says. Love you. I dash to the phone, but it's too late. Click. He had to be calling from his cell. Is he still on his way here? I immediately start dialing it when my finger stops. Something doesn't make sense. What did he say? I love you. Love you. He couldn't have left the message for me, of course. It had to be for Penley. Is he trying to keep up appearances with her? As cool and clever as Michael can be, I find that hard to believe. He hates her too much right now. The answering machine continues to blink, practically begging me to play back the entire message. Go ahead, Chris. Satisfy your curiosity. I hesitate only because I'm not supposed to listen to messages, that is. One of the first things Penley told me when I started the job was that I, quote-unquote, needn't concern myself with the machine. Translation, keep your nose out of my business. So, for the past 2 years, I've not once hit the playback button. Until now. Screw it. What have I got to lose? My job? One way or the other, I don't think I'll be the nanny here for much longer. All the more reason to listen to the message. I don't like how it ended. Besides, didn't Amanda say that Michael had already called earlier? The timing seems strange. So I hit the button. You have one new message, says the automated voice. Hi, honey, it's me, Michael begins. He sounds somber, almost crestfallen. Then he absolutely blows my mind. Chapter 98. I can't breathe as I listen to Michael's words. It's almost as if I'm hearing them one at a time. I've obviously been doing a lot of thinking since last night. That was pretty clever, by the way. You're bringing me to our favorite restaurant to break the news. Goodness knows how I would have reacted if we weren't in public. Maybe that's the problem, you know me too well, because right now I feel as if I have no idea who you are. Oh, Christ, that sounds like some cheesy movie line, doesn't it? I know I'm not the easiest guy to be married to, and I know what you told me took guts, and you probably wouldn't have said anything unless you really do want us to work things out. But the whole thing, it just came as such a shock. Shit, I don't want to say something here I'm going to regret, but you've got to understand how upset I am. You keep saying that you love me, and yes, I love you, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I guess we'll have to see. One other thing, though, I'm a little worried about your wanting to end things with this guy in person. What if he doesn't take the news well? I want to make sure you know what you're doing. Think about it, Penley, okay? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Hopefully you'll do the same thing you did with me and take him to a restaurant. Jeez, this is too weird. I'm actually giving advice to my wife on how to end her affair. You know what? I'm going to leave the office and head home. It's not like I'm getting any work done here. In fact, I think I'm going to pick up some ice cream along the way. Chunky Monkey, of course. To hell with the diets for him. So if you hear this message before I get there, hang around, okay? We'll pig out and do some more talking. I'll see you later then, okay, honey? I love you. Love you. I stand there motionless in the kitchen while my brain goes absolutely haywire. I can't believe Penley would confess to her affair. And I also can't believe Michael would ever consider forgiving her, let alone discuss staying together. She's been stringing me along this entire time. Is there a whole plotline going on that I'm not aware of? I'm so confused, I don't know which end is up. It's all one big hazy cloud. Plus I think I'm going to be sick. Reaching a hand out to the counter, I try to steady myself. I need to figure this out. Think, Kristen, think. It just doesn't feel right. Michael sounded too meek on the phone. Unassuming, docile, harmless, innocent. And then it all becomes clear to me. Everything does. From the beginning, right up until Michael's message, or should I say his alibi. I turn and rush to the fridge, pulling open the freezer door. There, staring back at me, is a brand new pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Chunky Monkey, of course. It's in the details.